Hello again, everyone. This is a CAT 2018 slot 2 question. In this, a little bit of number distribution related question. Missing data, not complete table, will be filled up using the values. But the first thing to identify in this kind of set is what should be the data collection technique. So that should be pretty obvious if you have practiced a bit in LR. So there is a visitors are visiting amusement park, needs to buy ticket. Now tickets can be of three types: platinum, gold, or economy. And visitors are also classified in these three categories: old, middle aged, or young. And then the distribution of old people buying platinum, gold, or economy tickets, middle-aged people buying platinum, gold, or economy tickets. So that kind of distribution is there. So it's a XY axis matrix, right? So let us first quickly build the matrix. So we have three types of people: old, medium, middle-aged, sorry, and young. And the ticket types are platinum, gold, and economy. So this is the structure we are going to follow. And whenever it comes to matrices, whichever data or relationship is presented in terms of totals, that becomes automatically important. So in this case, 140 tickets sold. So that is a grand total. So that should be a very good indicator any which way. So let's keep that information initially. Second point tells us the number of middle-aged visitors was twice the number of old visitors. So it's relating the total of old and total of medium. That should be in the ratio 1:2. And it carries on and says that number of young visitors was twice the number of middle-aged visitors. So corresponding to this, the number of young visitors will be twice of this. So we can combine this ratio straightforward. So this is 1:2:4, right? Now 1 to 4 adds up to 7. We have a total of 140. So this is why the total is important. So that is 20 times. So scale everything by 20 times. So you get old people 20, middle aged 40, and young people 80. So this thing can be determined straight away. That's what we have. Let me take this off. Great. Next, what we have is the young visitors. So point number 3 here. Young visitors bought 38 of the 55 economy tickets that were sold. So this is giving us two information straight away. One, it says there are total of 55 economy tickets sold. So this is important because again, totals. Out of which young visitors have bought 38 of them. So this value should be 38, right? So this is straight away given. From this couple of things, I mean, because the reason why these totals are important. So a lot of things can be understood straight away in this diagram. This total should be 85 because grand total is 140. This total should be 42 because this column total is 80. This total should be 17 because 38 and 55. So that is why the totals are relevant. So third is telling us that. And also it says they bought half the total number of platinum tickets that were sold. So this is a relationship. So because it's a relationship, so let us use some variables to indicate that. So let us say the total platinum tickets sold were 2p, out of which the youngs are buying half of it, right? So this is talking about the young visitors, by the way, this point. So this will be p. I don't like to take fractions along with variables as much as possible. So hence I've taken 2p and p. So this indicates couple of things here. So the gold total can be also, we can draw the relationship in terms of this p straight away. So this is a total, by the way. Let me just indicate like this. So we have 140, 55. So 85 is remaining. And 2p is the total of platinum. So this should be 85 minus 2p, right? Also, if you look at the young column, 80 here, 38 here, so remaining with 42, p is taken, so that is 42 minus p. So this interesting thing, I mean, now I think you can understand these two can also be determined in terms of p. This total is also p, right? Because half of it goes here, so the remaining half should be taken up by old and middle aged together. So a few other relationships can be obtained, but I'm not going into too much of this thing. Let's this one more point to take up. So fourth says the number of gold tickets bought by old visitors. was equal to the number of economy tickets bought by the old visitors. So we are comparing the old visitors, right? So these two blocks are what we are comparing. Gold tickets and economy tickets by old visitors, they are equal, right? So let me indicate this by some n. So these two values should be equal. So these are n, right? Now, if you think about this particular cell, so there is a total of 20, couple of n's are taken. So we have 20 minus 2n. So this should be there. And the rest of it also we can understand in terms of this n and p. So these two variables are remaining. There are no further relation to combine the two variables, that is. So let us try to resolve this as easily as possible. First thing, if you remember that these two should be adding up to this p, and because this is 20 minus 2n, so this plus this should be p. Now I'll show you a smart way to resolve this quickly. Put it in this way, just put the p here because we need a p somewhere, right? This plus this should be p. So put the p here, we don't have any p here. And try to make the rest of it zero. So this plus how much should give us zero? So minus 2n, we should have a plus 2n for that. And we have a plus 20, so we should have a minus 20 for that. So this you can do mentally, you don't have to write separately. So now you can see that if you add these two things, you will get a total of p. So this is validated. Same thing, let us do this for the gold column and the economy column. But in terms of economy column, it's easy. So let's do that first. So economy column, we have this as 17 minus n because this is 38, this is 55. This total should be 17, same idea. Just put the 17 and then eliminate the remaining things. So that is 17 minus n. Now, understand that because this was derived from this 2p and everything here, everything in the cells are derived from these n's. So whether you calculate this using the column total or you calculate this using the row total, you'll always get the same value. You can verify this after calculating. So let me use the row total first. So we have 85 minus 2p, right? So observe first of all that I need a minus p further. I just have one minus p. I need minus 2p. So I need a minus p here. 85 and 42. So this is giving us a constant difference is 43. So we have to have a 43 here. The n is not part of this total, right? So we need to subtract this n. So minus n. And if you remember that minus p thing, so this should be minus p. So this is what we have for this particular row. Now, if you add all of this, you'll find it is 85 minus 2p. This minus p and minus p will give us minus 2p. The n and minus n will cancel off, and 43 and 42 will give us 85. So treat each variable separately, the constant part separately. Easy to do mentally, you can do these things. And as I said, I mean, if you want to verify, you can verify that this will come out to be 40 actually. Minus 20 and 43 plus 17 is actually 60. 60 minus 20 is 40. So the constant bit is done. And if you evaluate this plus this, that will be minus 2 and minus p, which will cancel out with this. So that should automatically balance out. So this is what we have, the structure, right? The reason I did this is similar to some sets that I've already discussed in these CAT sets solutions. If you think about all the regions should be non-negative, right? Because they are indicating some number of people buying some tickets. So each of them should be non-negatives. They should be integers, of course. So these kind of things have to be understood. So if we consider, let's say, for example, the n part. Now, which are having only n? Which are the regions that are having only n? So focus on that. One is this region. One, of course, is this region, but this won't tell us a lot, but I'm still marking that. And another is this region. So each of these regions have to be non-negative, right? Now, if this has to be non-negative, it implies that n is greater than or equal to 0. But we don't have to understand that. That is pretty obvious, right? N has to be greater than or equal to 0. So let us ignore this. The rest of it, see, if this has to be non-negative, so we have 20 minus 2n greater than or equal to 0, implying n should be less than or equal to 10. So this is what we obtain. Now, here, just try to validate whichever you have figured out. So if I put n less than equal to 10, so whatever value of n I put, I substitute here, this will also automatically be non-negative, right? So this is not having any additional constraint. So what I meant to say is, if you do the same thing using this 17 minus n, you'll find that 17 minus n is greater than equal to 0, implying n less than equal to 17. Now, if you try to substitute this on this particular thing, 20 minus 2n, you'll find that not all values of n are giving us non-negative values. So combining these two ranges, this will be picked up, right? Because it has to validate both the ideas. So n has to be less than equal to 10. This is the first thing. Let us take these things off. So this is n. This is the only constraint that we have for n. So let's keep that. Same thing for p. Now, as I said, I mean, only the region only with p. So this is one, but again, these two are just telling us that p has to be greater than equal to 0, right? So let's ignore that. We have understood that much, I hope. Now coming to these two regions. Again, if you do the same thing, you'll find that 42 minus p greater than equal to 0 gives us p less than equal to 42. And this thing greater than equal to 0 gives us p less than equal to 42.5. So again, cannot be decimal any which way. So both are saying the same thing, right? Has to be p less than equal to 42 only. So we can pick either one of them. So this is the constraint that we have for p. Let me just take these things off, and then I'll discuss one last thing. Now, these are the two things that we have. What I'm going to additionally check is this region. Now, if you focus on this region, we have 43 minus n minus p, which is also non-negative, which also has to be non-negative, telling us n plus p must be less than equal to 43, right? So I'll keep a mark for this, because the two things that we obtained as of now are ranges of n individually and p individually. But this region is telling us that n plus p also has a bit of restriction. Same thing you can do with this region as well, but then you will get a lower limit kind of thing, but not for p plus n, you'll get for p plus 2n. So I'm not going into too much of analysis. We can do those things also, but then depending on the question, if that is required, I'll come to that. So these are the three things that we'll keep in mind before we approach to the question. If you additionally find you can keep this, you'll get p plus 2n greater than equal to 20. So now let us go into the questions. Question number 17. If the number of old visitors buying platinum tickets was equal to the number of middle-aged visitors buying platinum tickets. So old visitors buying platinum tickets, this is equal to the middle-aged buying platinum tickets, this. So these two should be equal according to the condition. So what we have is 20 minus n must be equal to p plus 2n minus 20, right? Now, what are we looking for? So I'll evaluate this before I get into the the option checking and all. So which of the following it says, obviously we have to check the options, but let us understand what we are looking for. So which among the following could be the total number of platinum tickets sold? So we are looking for total number of platinum tickets sold. That will be 2p, right? So we are looking for what value 2p can be. So this is the question. So let us now evaluate a little bit on this. So if I just keep the p on a separate side, so I have something like p is equal to, so these two should, okay, this is 20 minus 2n, my bad. This is 20 minus 2n. Okay. Let's take everything else on the other side. So I'm keeping p on this side. So rest of it will be something like 40 minus 4n, right? So if you have this, I think you can easily see that this is something like 4 into 10 minus n, right? Now, keep in mind the constraints that we had. So we had a couple of constraints. One is on n, another is on p. So these things, n plus p is not a factor here because we are not having a combination of n and p in the context of the question. So just look at these two constraints. First thing is n less than equal to 10. So n less than equal to 10, any value of 10 minus n is possible, right? Even if I take n equal to 10, then this is fine, p equal to 0. So anything is possible. And p less than equal to 42, the options are all less than 42. So less than equal to 42. So no problem there as well. But the only thing that I can find here is P is a multiple of 4, right? The thing we are checking for is 2P. Now 2P, obviously then, you can do this mentally also, should be a multiple of 8. So what we know is 2P, whatever is the value, has to be a multiple of 8. So if I look at the options, there is only one such value, so 32, which is a multiple of 8. So that should be the answer. So that is it for 17. Let me take this off and then I'll go to question number 18. 18 asks, if the number of old visitors buying gold tickets was strictly greater than the number of young visitors buying gold tickets. So it is comparing the gold tickets for old and young, right? So old is this one and young is this one. So it says old visitors buying gold tickets, so that is N, is strictly greater than the young visitors buying gold. So this thing, right? So check this out. This is telling us something about N plus P, right? So N plus P is greater than 42. But if you remember, N plus P has to be less than equal to 43. So if N plus P has to be greater than 42, the only value that is feasible is N plus P equal to 43. It cannot exceed 43, right? So this is something that we have understood now. So N plus P has to be 43. Now what are we looking for? Number of middle-aged visitors buying gold tickets. So middle-aged visitors is 43 minus N minus P. So that is 43 minus of N plus P. That should be 0. So we have 43 minus of N plus P, which is 43 minus 43, that is 0. So that is the answer for question number 18. Let's move to the next one now. Okay, 19 says, if the number of old visitors buying platinum tickets was equal to the number of middle-aged visitors buying economy tickets. So old visitors buying platinum tickets, so that is 20 minus 2N, is equal to the number of middle-aged visitors buying economy tickets. So middle-aged buying economy tickets is this 17 minus N. So this is, these two are equal, right? So what are we looking for? Number of old visitors buying gold tickets. So basically we are looking for the value of N. And this is pretty simple, right? You just resolve this. So N is equal to 3. So that is the answer. Nothing to this question. So this is 3 here. Let's check the next question now. Which of the following statements must be false? That is the last question. So we're looking for definitely false kind of thing, right? Okay, let's check this out. First one, number of gold and platinum tickets bought by young visitors were equal. So number of gold and platinum tickets. So these two should be equal. That's what it says. It doesn't seem a problem, right? P equal to 42 minus P. 2P 42, so P is equal to 21. That is falling in this range, isn't it? P less than equal to 42. No issues as such. Even this range will not be a problem. P equal to 21. Or wait. Yeah, this is less than equal to 43, right? Had this been equal to 43, I was getting confused with question number 18 here. This was less than equal to 43. So if P is 21, N can be 5. So 5 plus 21 is less than equal to 43. No problem here. So A is fine. Let me keep a check for this. So this is absolutely fine. Let's check the next option. B says the number of middle-aged and young visitors buying gold tickets were equal. So number of middle-aged and young buying gold tickets. So for gold, middle-aged and young, these should be equal, right? So again, let us equate these two. 43 minus N minus P is equal to 42 minus P. Everything cancels out and you have N is equal to 1, right? So N is equal to 1 is fine, no problem. We can have N equal to 1. So this is also okay. It is falling in this range. Let us look at C here. The number of old and middle-aged visitors buying economy tickets were equal. So number of old and middle-aged buying economy tickets. So old and middle-aged buying equal economy tickets. Now this, on the face of it, you should understand, this is not possible. One of them has to be odd, another has to be even. If you're not getting that, you have N is equal to 17 minus N, right? So 2N is equal to 17. So how is that possible? That is not possible, right? 2N has to be an even number. When I say it directly by looking at it, I'm just, whenever you have these two types of things, the same variables are used on both the sides. Just check for the odd even parity. So if this is odd, this becomes even. And if this is even, this becomes odd. So that is not possible. One number odd, another even. How can that be equal? So option C is the incorrect one. C is incorrect. That is the answer. You can check the D as well if you want, but I'll leave that for you guys. Same idea. You can just evaluate. You'll figure out that that should also be possible. So that is it for these four questions and this set. Leaving you with a bit of understanding. I mean, I guess you understood that this is nothing to do. I mean, it's a very easy set. Uh, I would say medium level of difficulty only for the fact that it was a bit of, these kind of things you have to do very carefully. So while developing the table, you have to be careful about drawing these things properly. So if you do that, then it's easy to analyze. There's only two variables. Two variables should never be a problem for you. One variable will never be anyhow a problem for you. Even two variables should not be a problem for you. If there are three or more variables, that becomes a little complicated. So two variables analysis is fine. Just think about this same idea that every region has to be non-negative. Typically, these kind of things happens for matrices, for Venn diagrams, and those kind of things, where there are talking about number of items or number of people or something like that. So everything has to be non-negative any which way, right? Have to be integral also. Keep that in mind, but that idea is useful in certain sets, but mostly you'll find that negative thing helping you a lot, non-negative thing rather. So I'll say it's a medium level difficulty. Depends on your comfortability, how much you are good with numerical analysis. That should definitely come into account when you're solving this set. You should be good at numerical analysis. So I'm hoping that you're getting an idea now that in CAT you're getting a lot of sets, and CAT likes number analysis. That is what is actually required for an MBA point of view. An MBA, when we were studying, we had a lot of number crunching, in the sense how to analyze things. I mean, how to look at a balance sheet and understand the health of a company. So those kind of things helps you in developing. These kind of things help you in developing those skills as well. So analysis is very important. So keep that in mind. It will always help you to select the set as well as solve it in the best possible manner. So this ranges and everything would be important from this particular perspective. That is what I would like to end with. And ideal time to solve this set would be 8 to 10 minutes. You may choose this in round one, you may choose it in round two. I'll completely leave it upon your comfortability with number analysis. But that is it for this set. Thank you for joining in.